Hi everyone, Emma from Girly HR Gardener. So today I am going to attempt to make a living wreath. I've never made one before. I saw one on YouTube, thought it was awesome, so I thought I'd have a go. I wasn't able to buy a living wreath form, so I've cobbled one together, true allotment style. And I've used some wire mesh and a plant pot which I've cut, so it is very allotment style. The wire mesh I cut to 1 foot wide and 3 foot long, and then I folded it in half so that it was 6 inches wide and 3 foot long. And then I basically, and you probably can see the ties here, so I've tied it round to make a basket with a hole in the middle, and then put a plant pot in the middle to make a kind of wreath-ish shape, although it's got square edges. But for a first attempt, let's see how it goes. So I'm going to start with some sphagnum moss. So that's going to go into the bottom, and I'm hoping I'll be able to, oh look, there we go. Let's see if I can make this stand up. Right, I'm going to bring it down here instead so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to put the moss in the bottom. So one of the things to note actually before I put it in is you can see there are some gaps between the edge of the pot and the wire. I'm not worrying about that, because when I put this mesh in, you push it down sort of quite tight into all of the edges, and it will essentially fill those holes. Now this moss has come and it's quite wet, so I haven't had to soak it, but if you get the dried stuff, you do need to put it into a bucket and soak it before you use it, so that it's malleable and nice to use. So push all that down there, and then I'm gonna try and get it up the sides as well. So you do still want to have a good size planting pocket, so obviously you don't want to end up using all of this space with your moss, because the point is to have a living plants in here. So we'll just very quickly get this all around the sides, and again, it doesn't have to be too neat. It is a plant. For me, I'm actually going to have it at my allotment, so I'm not too fussed if it's not absolutely beautiful, but you might want to, if you're putting it at your house, I suppose you might want to make it a bit more beautiful than this. But so now you can see I've got the moss all in there, and then I'm pushed up against the sides so that I've got a good base. And then from after this, if we've got any bits that I've missed, then I've got a piece of hessian, and I'm going to put the hessian over the top. So now that I've done that, I've just completely covered it all up so you can't see what's going on. But the hessian goes all the way over. I'm not going to cut this until I've created my I've put the plants in, because I will then possibly use this to go back round the plants to help hold them in afterwards, and that will make more sense to you once I show you what I'm doing. So at the moment I'm obviously making my planting pocket again, so you can see there, and obviously you need to create some folds, and then I'm going to fill in this planting pocket with my compost. So again, just pushing that soil into there, and like I said before, I like to have more compost than I need, and I'll take it out if I need to. I am going to put some all-season feed into here, so probably just one actually, just because it is an enclosed space, so it's just like planting into a pot, so I want to make sure that there's some feed in there, and I am also going to add some of my root booster that we talked about in one of my last videos. So I'll put the link to all season feed and root booster into the comments below, so if you want to take a look you'll be able to find them. So this is very messy at the moment. Now I've gone for a purple and white scheme. I'm going to do them alternating. That's the cricket. If you can hear the noise in the background, people shouting, we have a cricket pitch right next to the allotment. There are some days where it genuinely could not be more British. We'll have the cricket playing, the pond trickling, and maybe you know, the tennis on the radio. So it is pretty British up here sometimes at this allotment. So there you go, that's ready now for my planting pocket. Now before I plant, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut an X into this hole in the middle, because I don't want that to, so I'll be able to pull that back across. So the flowers that I've chosen, I'm going to bring you back up. So the flowers that I've chosen are pansies. So this is Spectacular Rhythm and Blues, and you can see what a fantastic colour they are. Match my top. So absolutely beautiful, deep purple. And then I've also got the Pansy Spectacular Pure White, and again, if you look at that flower, so we'll end up with a nice arrangement, hopefully alternating between them. So these are just from the local garden centre. I do like to support the local garden centre whenever I can. They, you know, rather than going to the big guys, as it were, I do like to go to my local garden centre. So that was the first white one, and then we are literally just going to, oh, that's very root bound. So when they're like this, I quite often just break some of the roots. You see, I've literally just torn some of the roots. Helps them to grow more roots, but it also stops them from strangling themselves with the root memory of it going round and round. I don't know why they do that, but they do. So again, just push that in. Make sure that you're really getting those root balls in tight into that planting pocket. Just get a little bit messy at this point, and I'm not really sure how many plants I'm going to need, so we'll find out together. So this is the next white one, and again pushing that hard into there, making sure that we fill in all the gaps. I don't want to have air pockets around my root balls. So that's the white, and then the next purple. And plants are hardier than we sometimes give them credit for. You know, we really can break roots and push them about a bit, and they don't protest too much. So again, sticking that into there, pushed in. Definitely need some more compost in those edges. I'm hoping that you can see what I'm doing. So as I go around, I'm just checking that we've got the plants properly in, and I am being quite tough with them. So now another white one. These roots aren't so bad. I'll just give them a little bit of a Now obviously these pansies are still quite small, and they will fill out. What I want is for this to be absolutely jam-packed full of blooming flowers. So that's the plan in the long run. And I'm also planning to put this onto my shed door, hopefully, so that would be quite nice. So, and then that was white, so let's go back to purple. That's a bit stuck in there. There we go. That's nice. Okay. So again, just breaking up that root memory. And once this wreath's done, so I'll probably keep it like this for, I don't know, a couple of months. But then you can easily pop the flowers out if you use something. You can use all sorts of different flowers, but you can easily just pop them out then and plant them into your borders, or into some other pots if that's what you want to do. And then I think we'll get one more white and one more purple, so that's like a measured. So again, just breaking up that root memory, getting the white one in there, and then the last purple one. Ooh, that's super root bound. I don't know if you can see, that was very probably quite thankful for taking those roots off of it. And then into this last planting space, really, there we go. So thankfully I was able to go purple white all the way around. I didn't end up with a double purple or a double white. So I'm just going around now, double checking that they're all in there nice and tight, that there's no air holes, and there we go. Right, so now what I want to do is take these triangles and just push them in. So they'll go into the underneath the plants, and then I'm going to, all this extra, do the same around these outside pieces. So what I want to be able to do is bring these edges back over. So in order to do that, I need to cut off all of the excess hessian. So if I just roughly snip that off, and then probably need to just cut it around the plants, but this is going to help to keep the plants actually in once we hang it up. So it's really important that you have this overhang of hessian. Just snip off all of this excess. I'm going to turn it around so that I don't bang you. I use this hessian for all sorts of things. It's actually it's really good to put over the top of pond plants to keep the compost, the pond compost, aquatic compost, sorry, in the pots. It's great for that. I also use it to help or to provide a space for oops, sorry about that, I knocked you over, I also use it to provide a way for the frogs and newts to get out of my pond. So, you know, I do put it into the, sort of dangling down into the pond, and then onto the rocks, and the frogs and newts can climb up it. Right, so this is, I think, a good amount, and then for each plant, if I just make a snip across like this, and then this will go over the compost there, tuck it in around the plant, and again this side, just to, oops, I think I've done that in the wrong place, but there we go. So put this one round, and again up. And once I've finished this part, I'll be able to, I'm going to use some wire, or actually I'm going to use some of this green stuff, and I will actually just wrap that into and over the top of the hessian to help hold it in place. And that again then helps to stop any of the compost from falling out of the arrangement. So it's very difficult to do this and talk at the same time, so apologies that I keep going quiet. There we go. So you can see that just snipping as you go, and tucking it under the plants, so you have the whole thing completely covered. Seems to be working. Again, making sure that you get the leaves out from over the top. And this one's a bit of a tricky one. Nearly done. Put that one there because that needs to go under here. There we go. And this is the tricky corner where I had to cut off the excess. So again, just put that over there, that one under that one, and then I think actually probably can just cut this off. So as you can see now, all of the plants are enclosed in there, and then we're going to take the tie. You can use you could use fishing wire for this, or some, you know, another type of wire. So you see, I'm just literally going to fasten this onto there, so that it's secure onto that edge, and then I'm going to bring it over the top in between the flowers, make sure in between the plants, and make sure that I get it all the way across, and then I'm going to feed it into, I'm actually going to take it all the way around because I couldn't get a proper former, I'm going to have to do it like that. So I will do this, and then I'll take some photographs at the end, and so I'll show you some photographs at the end, but as you can see, I'm going to take it all the way underneath, all the way back up, and then I'll fasten it on, and I'll do that all the way around. So once that's done, you'll end up with a living wreath that you can, I'll put you back up on there, that you can hang up on your door, or on a wall, and it will stay. And what I would say is that every maybe week certainly whilst it's warm. You take it off of the wall, lay it flat, water it, and then let it drain off before you hang it back up again. But what I'm hoping is to be able to give you updates when this is fully in bloom, and hopefully all of these bits of hessian will be completely gone. I'll also show you at the back, so you can see the moss through the thing. So that's all for now. I will show you photographs at the end. So that's actually been quite fun for my first ever living wreath. So hope you've enjoyed the video and it's inspired you to do something similar. But until next time, happy gardening.